last 24 hours was painful for those who were not prepared or those who neglected the warnings. Those who knew what was coming and what the possible drop was, they took the benefit of this opportunity. How they were able to manage this? Because they were either able to buy low or just had that peace of mind knowing that it's happening like this and this is what you can accept, right? The market is showing you that, and if you're already prepared, you can accept that. Is it only XRP what we do here? No. BTC is a main player in the market now, I agree. In yesterday's video, I showed you what was happening, right? The first alert went when BTC just dropped below 40. Then what happened? Yeah, it went like this. I followed up with that chart and we got a correction in BTC like this. And how did the market actually respond to what you're all looking at? Because as of now, you can see the 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average is way below. When the price corrects, the price comes near one of the moving average. For that, either the price has to come down or the moving average has to go up. Let's see how this is going to impact the market. Remember, it's about your portfolio. It's about your money. This is stellar. If you are trading that one, look at the pattern. This was that bearish pattern which I put out and we reached the target already. And after that, we are slowly bouncing. So always understand which asset moves in which direction based on its medium to long term time frame, and then look for the patterns on a shorter time frame. This allows you to understand what really is happening. The SI or the scientific investor provides you with tools using which you can make your own decision. Being a well-informed investor or trader, you can take that chance with minimal risk. I showed you guys this, right? We have a rising trend line. We are still getting supported at that area. Why? Because there is a lot of reasons for that inside the charts. The technical analysis allows you to understand that. So did we actually reach a bottom or are we still moving to the upside? No, right? We have a rising trend line. I do agree that we have a bullish pattern here in the medium to long run. But what's happening right now? We have to go through that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. 2 days back, I told you BTC is headed for a correction. And yes, I got a lot of hate. If you look at the viewers, it was just 5.k views, right? It's like 5.4k views. So now after that, the initial correction was, that dropped. Then people started watching this. But what is the benefit if you are not getting the information at the right time? Say when it was dropping just below 40, I put this one out and I told you guys in the YouTube video that this is the possibility we are looking at, and then we may drop. So as I showed you, we were talking about near 30,000 if 35 doesn't hold, and we got that one too. Why? The MACD was showing that cross at that time, and right now if you go to the chart and look at the MACD, you'll understand the story. A lot of questions were coming at me towards LTC, and I put this one yesterday. Now, based on the time in UTC, you can look at what was that base and where it went. From that price, I told there is a possibility of 8 to 10% where it reaches the long-term trend line support if you want to buy. And I'm happy that a lot of patrons did that. Now, do I need to take decision for you? No, it's your portfolio, your money. So how do you do that? Say first you see short-term chart and you analyze a pattern. Now you understand that there is a downtrend which has just started. Now, for me, I highlighted them way before this pattern completed. I want there is a pattern like this, and I showed you the proof. But if this is the bottom which you get inside the pattern, now you zoom a little bit out. Look at what the trend is, because now you have the pattern and the measured move for that pattern. But you move a little bit out and look at that pattern and trend. Now you see, there is a possibility that the price can be supported here, and it did. Now zoom even out the medium term. Now there is typos in this one because I was making that as quickly as possible to put it out to my patrons when the market was fluctuating like that, because they needed that support at that time to understand why this area is a support and why I believed that we may bounce from here. And look at this medium term trend. I know the spelling is wrong, but that's, as I told you, that's not an excuse, but we don't get much of a time when you deal with 400 people who want to manage their portfolio, right? So when you look at this one medium term and then the medium term trend and pattern together, you understand this. The pattern was a rounded bottom. Right now we are inside that one. We showed tendency that we are going down, but we came back up eventually, right? So this is how you manage your portfolio. This is how you look for pattern and trend in short, medium or long term, and then reach a conclusion like this is possible. Now here when you see, it's only that pattern which I'm measuring. Why? Because for me, I have already done the trend analysis too, and I've combined it here. So for my patrons, it's not that hard to digest. Now look at the market. It's in red, right? Look at last 24 hours. You understand what I'm saying. See, there are assets which went 20-25% to the downside because they went way up before. So if we were looking at Bitcoin Cash, it went towards 600 and above, and then it started correcting. So the macro term trend for that is still valid. So if you are looking for a correction to buy back in, you can look for a support and then buy at a support. Always do buy at a support and sell at a resistance. Don't do the opposite. I see a lot of people doing that, and that's just emotions which you have to control while you are in this market to make money. Now, why do I actually say that? Because when you go around and see this, say for example, this is the pattern for XLM, Stellar. Look at the RSI. What does it say? At least for me, it shows like, there is a possibility that it can still go down. Why should I take more risk when I see that RSI is saying me that it can go down? MACD is overbought. That means it can go way down. And the price itself shows that it is being faked out here. Right? I showed you the smaller time frame chart which showed this pattern. It's going inside, and then this one, that's a medium term. In this trend, now with that pattern, you're coming back in. So for me, yeah, it broke below. It can go back and retest that area, but that's not the trend. That's the pattern again, retesting itself, right? You go back here, it can go back, retest this area where it broke below. Now, if that retest holds, cool, it's going up. If it's getting rejected, then look for this one, because this is the trend. So in that trend, what do you see? This thing. Now, if you want to compare the same, go in, use XRP chart, right? You look at the same time frame here. In the RSI, what can you see? For me, it looks something like this. And if you look at that pattern, okay, now if you want to actually put that line at the top, I'll do that for you. It's just, if it's helping you guys just to reduce your tension to understand stuff. See, we broke below, but we reached the bottom. Now, yeah, that was a lot of panic selling, but we came back up. Now we are retesting that one, right? So when you go back, look at this. What do you actually see? Now, if it come back below this area, don't blame me or anyone, because this is the pattern which we can see, but we do have supported this area, and this area. Because by that time, look at the RSI. If it's reaching the bottom and rounding up, that means these will be the bottom there. You don't have to expect all the way back to 0.11. But do combine the RSI, MACD and the price before you take any decision like that. Because here You see the RSI is at the bottom. RSI came back up and it is showing you a potential to move to the upside. The price is showing you similar story. With the pattern, you understand that. Then the MACD is at the bottom, crossing to the upside. So what does that give you? If you make your decision based on what you see in the chart, not based on your emotion, it's going to be easier for you. Because when I see a lot of people, coming up, looking for a lot of different assets, questions and all, some do understand what I do here. Say, Bobby here highlights this. And, I'm thankful for guys like this. These are, the early supporters of this Patreon group. And right now, we are actually growing so fast. Because they get value, they invite their friends, family, relatives, everyone here to get that value. Because consider anything like this happening, and then you get to see this. So you are way prepared. If you wanted to take your profit, you already took your profit and you are out. You're waiting for what? This to happen. And then you get this. So as I showed you, I give them the trend, pattern, and the time series analysis together combined in a single easily formable readable chart, which doesn't actually confuse them, right? So when you see stuff like this, it's going to be easy for you. This is the pattern, this is the measured move, it's plotted here, so you can expect that the price would be moving till here. Now, if you want to analyze it based on different factors, say which I do for them, for XRP, I'll do that for you guys too. XRP BTC looks like this. That's on a daily time frame. Now, if I go in, say a 4-hour chart or a daily chart, zooming in, say this one is actually a 4-hour chart. What is this pattern showing you? We are moving inside this pattern, and if you look at this, I created this pattern way before and the price was moving to the upside. When we got a bounce here, I informed my patrons that this is the scenario. If we break up, we're going to go towards here. That's like moving 20% up. We got a double bottom here. We got this pattern running, but right now it shows the RSI is being rejected at the resistance. So expect lower. And when I say expect lower, means the RSI can be moving to the downside like this. You always look at the trend. Then you use that pattern in. Now this is the small term pattern, right? The short term. Now you zoom out. Look at it on a daily and understand what really is happening. We are at kind of, the lowest point in this market cycle. If you want to compare it with anything, you can go back, zoom out and look where we were in these ranges. If you want to zoom out, you can use a weekly chart. Say this is XRP BTC. That gives you the idea that when BTC is going down, XRP is still holding and moving up slowly in a pattern. Does that mean SEC is going to push this asset to zero? I don't think so. But yes, the exchanges won't allow you to get into it. Why? I recently got an email from eToro highlighting that there would be less liquidity in the market, that you will be still able to hold your position, but we are looking at the situation in US. Guys, if you're outside US, why the dash should you care about what is happening in US, right? So it's just about taking this asset, reducing the liquidity, kicking out retail investors. Whether you believe it as a conspiracy or not, think the liquidity in your exchange is not cool. You are not able to buy or sell your existing positions, but the price skyrockets. What will you do? So that's why I use a ledger, move whatever you have into that one, use only your trading position inside the exchanges. Now with ledger, afterwards you can go to say exchanges like Uphold or whichever supports it like Bitrue and others, and then reap the benefits. So always be prepared for the best and worst scenario, because if you are prepared for the worst scenario, you already know what's happening and you are expecting that this should happen, right? But when the positive stuff comes out, you're way happier than that. Right now, here, the trend in RSI, MACD, and the price is showing you similar thing. We are at this bottom. While we waited at this bottom previously, what happened? Look at just the measured move from that bottom to the top here in terms of BTC. Remember, during that time, the BTC was also going to the upside, right? So when you measure this, you get to see these kind of numbers, which is not small. 2000, 10,000%. Again, that same after we reached this bottom and went up. So right now, if you are looking at this, think and question yourself. What are you looking in the near future? In the medium to long run, not the extreme long run, the medium to long run within next 11 to 12 months, what are you going to see? The price popping boom to the upside. Remember, this is 12th of Jan 2021 when I'm saying this. After 11 to 12 months, we'll again go through this stuff and reanalyze and see what did happen at that time. When we look at different price fluctuation, price alerts, different guys saying different stuff, it's kind of, confusion, right? We are actually looking at which time, which support, we don't know. The price can go anyway, but it's completely up to you to understand what you're looking at. Say, Winnie here says, I blame crypto Mandarin. Okay, at the bottom, he comes out and say, me too. Cool. So what did he say? This is a small correction. This is not a crash. Buy the dip. BTC ain't going under 34.5k. What happened? It went all the way towards 30k. Now, in a shorter time frame, yes, it does play with your emotions. But if you're a long-term investor believing in that asset as a store of value, it's okay for you. You can just go through the volatility, because if you believe in that asset for your own reasons, stay there. But for me, it's always payments, and BTC doesn't actually go as a payment asset because it doesn't have that scalability first. It doesn't have that properties. Now, you look at XRP as a payment asset. When the payment industry is looking for the best solution, the best infrastructure to move on, you are getting that one here. Michael sent me this one showing during the first 11 months of this year in US, they sent $36.9 billion to Mexico. This is not a small thing. You have to understand the market is evolving. They are increasing. Last year, it was 36.4. In 2019, it was 36.4. And now in last 11 months, you got 36.9. That means the industry is increasing. The demand for payments is increasing. So at one area, you see an asset with a lot of value in the future. And then in the other area, you see this. Again and again pressing for a stimulus. You are going to see a lot more stimulus coming out as the health crisis continues, the job loss continues, the economy is in deep waters. They'll print as much as possible and give you. You are happy? They show you that happy moment by borrowing from the future. Who will pay this off? No one will. So what will they do? They'll print as much as possible and hyperinflate. So they give you 1,000 and they take back 10,000. You don't understand this right now, but after a year or two, we will surely discuss about that. When your asset in which you believe is giving you that opportunity to take benefits, do think about what happened to the fiat. Do think about what happened to the dollar, because right now everyone is moving into crypto. These banks are giants in their own country, right? The leaders of that infrastructure in their countries. So if they are moving into this one with a lot of different strategies, think double term. If they are going to move in with crypto exchanges, working with them, increasing their investments there, what are you looking at? Because you have to look at these names and go look at the Ripple's website for partners. You will understand what I'm talking about. The ultimate infrastructure is coming out with banks tying up with crypto exchanges. Crypto exchanges already tied up with Ripple. Banks are already with Ripple. That's a lot of connection. But you also get a lot of FUD too. We already saw SEC put this one out, right? But we already see this evolving again and again, being pushed out again and again. Say this one shows Ripple has allegedly misled this one. So this is already stated by the SEC previously, and they are showing you how to go against Ripple to make that. But that doesn't actually care when the market is acting like this, because Ripple, the company, is expanding. They're exploring different options. They're expanding into different regions, and they are increasing the brain power which they have. Look at other companies, you will see what they are doing. But right now, you're going to see what it really was. Because if you look at the bottom here, congrats to everyone who held Amazon through that 98.7% decline back in 2000s. They are all reaping their benefits. But the thing is, it took 15 to 20 years. What XRP will offer you, or the crypto industry is offering you, is reducing that time frame. So when Barry says buckle up, I'll go back, look at the chart, not just listen to Barry and say, he's wrong, he's right and all, but I'll just go and look at myself. Okay, we broke below this. Now we have a resistance, the same as resistance, and the moving average also will be acting as a resistance. So this should be a retest. So if that retest is successful, we should move to the upside. You extend this line, you get a resistance there. But if we are being rejected here, look for the next one. So the next one is where you're looking for 26. Okay, so that's not that cool when you look at in that macro perspective. Now, yes, I can be wrong. So we'll just go directly into that BTC chart right now to see what really is happening, whether that retest is successful, whether that retest is going above that moving average, then it's cool. But right now, it's at that resistance level. So if you are looking at this is the previous resistance here, support here, acted as a support, we broke below. Right now we are there. So if we move through this and turn above this moving average, cool. Okay, Barry says buckle up, then it's buckle up. But for me, the confirmation will come after this one. And I also believe for you also, it should be like that. You shouldn't just jump on others' call, whether it's to the upside or downside. What they show you in the chart, if you feel that it is clear for you, you get the logic, then you take your decision. Otherwise, slow down, because it's your money, it's your capital, and it's your profit which will be coming out if you hold. Because when you look here, where you went, 118, where you are, 135. What did I show you? That's it. Now, if you want to reap these benefits at the right time, looking at this pattern before the breakouts, look at the Patreon link. That link is in the description below each and every video. If you want to take that benefit right now, you can see around 430 individuals are reaping the benefit for this. Mainly the premium and platinum members, say around 220 of them are reaping that benefit hugely, because whenever I see something, I instantly update it to them. So look at the market, understand what you want. If you are into a lot of different assets, say one asset is Bitcoin and you have a lot of different positions in Bitcoin. So managing each different asset and a lot of different positions is going to be hard in a bull market. Yes, I believe this is a bull market, but you have to look at the trend, how the trend is changing, the pattern, what it shows, and combine them together and then take a decision. Without looking at, say, guys are saying, okay, Ethereum is going to 20,000. Don't just jump on that one. Look at your chart, look at the fundamentals. Do you think Ethereum still can move to the 20,000 range right now based on its scalability issues? Based on the gas fee it asks? If you think so, it's okay, it's up to you. At least I don't think so. Now, when you continue to look at the entire crypto market, you see a lot of volatility. And if you are in one of them and you need assistance, I'm always here. So guys, I believe you received value for your time. And if you did, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. Now, I'll meet you on the next video. Stay tuned for then.